Okay, Indy, let's give these kids a big hand. We don't get a lot of commercial rabbits around anymore. We're taking, and there's a gal we lost one. That's all right. She got out, I know. So, you know why she got out? No, because she knows that she's going to be the champion. Very nice little silver fox. She has excellent body type, has nice fur, just needs a little more silvery. That's going to come in. I usually when I go through and pick these, I look at if I were going to buy a rabbit, which one would I want? And if I was going to buy one, that would be the one that I would want. Because she has very nice body type, just a very nice rabbit. My reserve champion is going to be the blue New Zealand doe. She has good body type, but she's a little flatter over the hip. She doesn't have quite the balanced body type or that I'm looking for. My others just don't quite fit into the category that I'm looking at, up to the quality of those two animals. So give those kids a hand there. They did it.
Our champion commercial rabbit belongs to Cheyenne Bergman with the National Plainfield FFA with her junior doe. She is receiving a trophy sponsored by Kenny Bloker. Our reserve champion commercial rabbit belongs to Cheyenne Bergman as well with the National Plainfield FFA, and that was with her senior doe. She's receiving a trophy sponsored by AP Appliance Heating and Cooling. Please give our champion and reserve champion a big round of applause. We are now going into our fancy rabbit division. Our first class is our Holland Lock Junior Buck under 6. Erica Brinkman from the North Butler FFA is in this class. After this class, our next class will be Holland Lock Senior Doe over 6 months.
One little Holland Lop here, he's a very nice rabbit. He could have a whole table full and still be on the top. So he's got an excellent body type. He's got I don't know, she's got to been working with him because he poses pretty well, even with me messing around with him. So he's got it, shows himself off. He's got that cute factor that it takes and just makes you look at him and then go. So, but he's going to be first, so that'll be, give her a hand there with that nice rabbit.
The winner of our Holland Lock Junior Buck under 6 months was Erica Brinkman with North Butler FFA. Now approaching the judge at the table is Holland Lock Senior Doe over 6 months. Our participants in this class are Alexis Brinkman, North Butler FFA, Alexis Brinkman, North Butler FFA, Alexis Brinkman, North Butler FFA, Erica Brinkman, North Butler FFA, Erica Brinkman, North Butler FFA, Erica Brinkman, North Butler FFA. After this class, our next class will be the Holland Lock Senior Bucks over 6 months.
It just sounded like we were outside.
Okay, we got 6 hollow lobs here, 6 really nice hollow lobs. The top one here is probably the one that combines the most with the balance net. They're kind of unique that when you pose them, you have to set them up and they are up on their front feet and they show off and that. And they tend to have ears out. They're supposed to come down to their side, but they're excitable little buggers. And if you see it now, and they take and have their ears up and that. But that one was the first. The others are kind of having some problems with molt condition and finishing off. And my final 2 just didn't have the boldness ahead. One of the things on this, you look for a big bold head, and they just don't have the boldness ahead of the other animals in the class.
We're going to the judge's table right now is a Holland Locks senior buck over 6 months. That is Alexis Brinkman of North Butler FFA, Erica Brinkman of North Butler FFA. After this class, our next class will be Holland Locks senior bucks over 6 months. First in the Holland Locks senior doe over 6 months was Alexis Brinkman with North Butler FFA, and second was Erica Brinkman with North Butler FFA.
Okay, if we had an ugly rabbit contest at the fair, we got one here that could really give it really a lot of competition. Because this rabbit is ugly, but it is also really nice, you know. But it is molten and it is zipped up here. Look at it, if you guys can see, just like what he decided to do at the fair today. He's got this racing stripe going down the middle of his back, and it just makes him look like he's all falling apart, but what a nice rabbit. I tell you what, he's got this great big gold head, but he just, you know, he just doesn't have it today with the fur thing. He decided a couple weeks ago not to be ready for the fair, did he? We've got a nice black rabbit here that's really slick, and that if the other rabbit was in condition, he couldn't compete with him, but he decided to look good in that today, so that my others are just off in a little coat and color also. But I want to just recognize that one for being a really nice rabbit. I just wish it had better quality fur and coat today.
Our next class approaching the judge is the Mini Lock Senior Buck over 6 months. Our participant in this class is Carissa Troina from the Monroe Clever Clovers. After that class, we'll do the Mini Lock Junior Buck under 6 months.
Where do you put my video?
They're already scratched up.
We just have one in this, but a very nice little animal. Has good head and ears, has nice balance and body type. Like to see a little more boldness ahead, but other than that, it's a nice animal. I like the color, but that color doesn't, color doesn't get you much. They're all equal, but when you look in a judge's eye, there are certain colors you like better than others, and blue is one that always stands out, and I like it a lot. So.
The winner of our Mini Lock Senior Buck over 6 months was Carissa Troina from Monroe Clever Clovers. Now up at the table is Mackenzie Bohach with her Mini Lock Junior Buck under 6 months. She is part of the Coldwater Dayton Busy Gopher 4-H Club. After that, our next class will be Mini Rex Senior Buck over 6 months.
Okay, this one Mini Lock Junior Buck, he's a nice little buck, but he needs more boldness ahead to take and do that. There's a blue right here. And he needs a little better body type to fit into the, compete with the other rabbits.
The winner of our Mini Lock Junior Buck under 6 months was Mackenzie Bohach from the Coldwater Dayton Busy Gophers. Our next class approaching the judge is our mini Rex senior bucks over 6 months. In this class, we have Cheyenne Bergman, National Plainfield FFA, Abby Shipper, Abby and Dandy Dozen, and Emma Wedeke from the Jackson Lucky Clovers.
Okay, our first class we've got our mini Rex. We have the little broken caster here will be first. He had very nice balance and body type, has good quality coat, nice color. I had one with another like a torque color, was a nice rabbit, but just didn't have the body type. And then we had a otter that was just too rough over the top and just out of condition today.
The results of our mini Rex senior buck over 6 months. Abby Shipper received first with the Owie and Dandy Dozens, and the Wedding King second with the Jackson Lucky Clovers. Now approaching the judge in the judge table is the mini Rex senior doe over 6 months. We have Cheyenne Bergman, Nashua Plainfield FFA, Cheyenne Bergman, Nashua Plainfield FFA, and Abby Shipper of the Owie and Dandy Dozens. And Lily Sterling of the Owie and Dandy Dozens, and Lily Sterling of the Owie and Dandy Dozens.
Okay, we got some mini wrecks here. We got some that got mold problems and that, we got one that's really nice quality coat, has nice balance and body type, just a very nice animal. So.
The results of our mini Rex Senior Doe over 6 months. First place went to Abby Shipper of the Albie and Davy Dozens. Second place went to Lily Sterling of the Albie and Davy Dozens. Now up to the judges table is the mini Rex Junior Doe under 6 months. We have Cheyenne Bergman, Nashville Plainfield FFA. Cheyenne Bergman, Nashville Plainfield FFA, and Ellie Butcher, Albie and Davy Dozens.
See you guys.
Okay, we have 3 animals in this one. We had an otter, broken black and a tricolor. All 3 nice animals, young animals. The otter was our first because it has the better body type of all 3 of them. Has nice smooth under overall and that good body. That's what we're looking for in a young mini Rex. So.
The results of our mini Rex Junior Doe under 6 months. First place was Cheyenne Bergman, Nashville Plainfield FFA. Second place was Cheyenne Bergman. In your program, we do have an addition. Our next class is that new addition. It's the mini Rex Junior Buck, and Ella Butcher from the Albie and Davy Dozens is in this class.
We had to have a little lesson on how to sex rabbits there and so, but I usually tell them that if it's a buck, you shake it, and if it rattles, it's a buck, and if it doesn't rattle, it's a dog, but that's
Receiving a blue was Ella Butcher. Our next class is our Rex Senior Buck over 6 months. We have 2 entries, Luke Goodrich from the Green Golden Eagles and Savannah Hummel from the East Butler Ramblers. Our next class after that will be our Senior Doe.
We have 2 standard Rex. My broken is going to be first. My white's going to be second. My white just doesn't have the quality of coat today and a little bit narrower and weaker and undercut at the hind quarter. My broken is a very nice balanced animal, has nice quality coat, good color.
The results of our Rex Senior Buck over 6 months, Savannah Hummel received first place from the East Butler Ramblers. Second place was Luke Goodrich from the Green Golden Eagles. Our next class is our Rex Senior Doe over 6 months with Luke Goodrich from the Green Golden Eagles. After that, we will go to the Netherlands Dwarf class.
this one blue, and this one in class blue. Has a nice rabbit, has good coat and color. Just doesn't have quite the body type we're looking for, and has the quality that Rex.
First in the class was Luke Goodrich from the Green Golden Eagles. Our next class is the Netherlands Dwarf Senior Buck over 6 months. Cheyenne Bergman is showing with the Nashville Plainfield FFA.
This one, he's going to be a red. He's too large in size. He doesn't have the body condition of that he should have. And plus he's bowling, so it's just not a good example of another one.
First place in your Netherlands Dwarf class was Cheyenne Bergman, Nashville Plainfield FFA. Approaching the judge now is our other fancy breeds, senior buck over 6 months. We have William Dykey from the Shell Rock Rockets. We have Claire Morgan from the Monroe Clever Clovers. And we have Emma Wedeking from the Jackson Lucky Clovers.
The young man's Dutch is going to be first, has good balance, and has very nice markings. The young lady with the Jersey woolly, it just lacks body condition. It lacks density of coat. It has very nice texture of coat, has a nice life of the coat, but just needs more density. The young lady that had the other Dutch has a little problem on the foot. Has what we call a split stops where the stops connect, otherwise it was a little off in coat condition, but it just needed to do that to fit in the iron.
The results of our other fancy breed senior buck over 6 months. First place was William Pikey from Shell Rock Rockets. Second place was Emma Wedeking from the Jackson Lucky Clovers. We are now doing our last fancy class. This is our senior doe over 6 months. We have Cheyenne Bergman from the Nashville Plainfield FFA, Emma Wedeking from the Jackson Lucky Clovers, and Lily Wedeking from the Butler BBs. After this, all of our first place class winners will come forward and we will pick a grand champion and a reserve champion fancy rabbit.
We're here with the young lady with the Beverin, the blue-eyed white, is in the wrong class. It should have been a commercial animal rather than a fancy. The young lady with the Jersey Woolly, one of the requirements of a opal Jersey Woolly is it has a blue undercoat on the underbelly, and when you blow into that, all you see is white. You don't see any blue, so that moved it down into the red ribbon category. The young lady had a dwarf photo. Nice rabbit, has nice eye circles, but it's too stained in coat to take and really do well in the class today.
All right, and our other fancy breed senior doe over 6 months, Cheyenne Berkman, Nashville Plainfield FFA received first, and Melinda King second. We are now going to be picking our champion fancy rabbit and our reserve champion fancy. So we need the following participants back up to the judges table. With the Holland Lot Junior Buck, we need Erica Brinkman. With the Holland Lot Senior Doe, we need Alexis Brinkman. With the Holland Lot Senior Buck, we need Erica Brinkman. With the Mini Lot Senior Buck, we need Carissa Troina. With the Mini Lot Junior Buck, we need Mackenzie Boach. We need the Mini Rex Senior Buck over 6 months, Abby Shipper. We need the Mini Rex Senior Doe over 6 months, Abby Shipper. We need the Mini Rex Junior Doe under 6 months, Cheyenne Bergman. We need the Rex Senior Buck over 6 months, Savannah Hummel. We need the Rex Senior Doe over 6 months, Luke Goodrich. We need the Netherlands Dwarf Senior Buck, Cheyenne Bergman. We need William Dykey with the Other Fancy Birds Senior Buck, or Other Fancy Breeds Senior Buck. And then we need the Other Fancy Breeds Senior Doe, Cheyenne Bergman. We are now picking a champion fancy rabbit and a reserve champion fancy rabbit.
Oh, they got it up high. They have
Yes.
a little higher.
Ben, I'm going home quick. Do you need anything?
Okay, let's give these exhibitors a big hand there. As I look through all these rabbits, there's 3 of them that really stand out to me that should be in contention. And so I only can pick 2, and so that means that one of the 3 also ran an app. My 3 that I'm looking at are the Dutch, the Mini Rex Senior Buck, and my little Holland Lot little Junior Buck. Okay? And so they were probably the 3 that stand out to me as the best quality and looking for fur and everything that we're looking for. Unfortunately today, one of them doesn't have it. My reserve champion rabbit today, the reserve champion, is going to be the Mini Rex Senior Buck. Okay? My champion is going to be the Holland Lot Junior Buck. Sorry, you got a nice bunch there, but it is. So, congratulations, sorry.
Our champion fancy rabbit is Erica Brinkman. She is receiving a trophy sponsored by KLMJ KQCR Radio on the Go. Our reserve champion is Abby Shipper. She is receiving a trophy sponsored by Kluter Auto Repair. All right, our next show is going to be the Best in Show. They're receiving a banner. And we need our champion commercial rabbit, Cheyenne Bergman's Junior Doe, and we need our champion fancy rabbit with Erica Brinkman. Again, this is our Best in Show. They are going to be receiving a banner sponsored by Kenny Wilder.
Yeah. Sure. Alright, I go get your mother something. What's that? It's your turn? Yes.
Job ass. Just show that rabbit.
Okay.
Hey, two very nice rabbits today. Best in show is going to be the howling one.
Erica Brinkman is our Best in Show rabbit. Once again, she is receiving a banner sponsored by Kenny Bloker. Our next class is bred and owned rabbits. So if you raised your rabbit in your barn and it took first place in the respective class, you may bring that rabbit up to the judges table. Once again, this is our bred and owned rabbit. If you raised a rabbit in your barn and it took first place in the respective class, you may bring it up for this class.
Doug. It's gotta be homebred.
Entering our bred and owned rabbit class is Cheyenne Bergman with National Plainfield FFA, Alexis Brinkman with North Butler FFA, Erica Brinkman with North Butler FFA, and a little clover kid, Josh Brinkman with the Green Golden Eagles Clover Club. And Abby Shipper.
He said he only raised the certificated breed.
Okay, well, this is the red known, and the thing is they must be doing something right because I believe the top three rabbits I had picked out for the best in show are up here. They're all red known already, I think, right? Is that, you know, so if I go any other way than what I picked them before, it looks like I don't know what I'm doing, which is probably true, but that's beside the point. So my champion is going to be my little Alamop. Now it gets down here because I had my mini Rex that was my reserve champion, and I had my Silver Fox, which was my champion of the light or of the commercial breeds. I'm going to go with the mini Rex. I like that mini Rex, a very nice little mini Rex. Just a little better, more quality there in those animals. All the rest are blues, though, because they all did a fine job. They're all really nice rabbits. It's just, we have to go that way.
This is the first thing she said.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom while they go back
All right, we are getting ready for our senior showmanship. Our senior showmanship is for any exhibitor who has completed grades 10, 11, and 12. So if you are interested in being in our showmanship class for the seniors, you are going first. If you have finished grades 10, 11, and 12, you are up. Our next class is going to be our intermediate showmanship. That's for anyone finishing 7, 8, and 9th grade. And our last class will be our junior showmanship. That's for any exhibitor who has finished 4th, 5th, or 6th grade. So my senior showman, we've got just a few minutes of break time for you to get your entry ready, and then you may head to the judges table.
Okay, before we get started here, we're going to talk about a little bit about showmanship. I'm an old guy and I'm not real fond of the showmanship class because my opinion is the time to do your showmanship is do your regular classes where it counts, not at the end of the show where just to show off what you know or that. So one thing that I've always done in I've watched people show rabbits, or I've watched people bring up rabbits. I've watched to see, and so I've already looked at these kids and have a good idea of where I want to go, and if they've done something wrong, or if not, if they've done something right, okay? But there's things like that, so we're going to talk about it, but we're going to look at that, but just so you know that I don't spend a lot of time on this because I've already got it pretty well decided, because when you're showing, you do it when you're supposed to be going. You don't do nothing while you're showing your rabbits in the show and then come up here and be all great. You know, the time to be great was when you were doing it before, okay?
It's supposed to rain again this afternoon tomorrow.
In our senior showmanship class, we have Mackenzie Gopach, we have Cheyenne Bergman, Luke Goodrich, and Emma Wedeking.
Still everybody's behind me, I will go.
There's
Just get on this and we're going to hold up the carpet. It's not possible.
What time is our
Okay, couple things here. One thing that I've noticed here while I've been here all day, a lot of you do it. Never, ever, ever pick a rabbit up by the scruff of the neck. If you do that, and I see you do that, you just about killed yourself on showmanship. By picking it up by the scruff of the neck, what you do is you break the fur follicles and you cause that rabbit to go into molt. Okay? It's called Suitcasing Rabbit. And if you're showing rabbits, you never do that. And I've seen more people and more kids do that here today than I think I've seen in the last 10 years on shows. Don't do it. Understand? That it's just not a good thing to do. Slide your hand under the belly, pick them up. If they don't like it, work with them. After you work with them a while, they'll do that. Okay. My reserve champion showman today is going to be the third young lady. She's the reserve champion because I've talked to her about it and I've seen her picking a rabbit up by the scruff of the neck. You would have been the champion if you hadn't done that. Champion is going to be the young man here at the end. He always picks his rabbit up by the end. I'm not saying he hasn't done it, but I didn't see him do it. Okay? He may be guilty, but at least he did it when I wasn't looking. Okay? The others did it. You need to know a little more information, a little more things like that. But a good job, but I just went. That's what I'm looking at. I'm an old, probably old man, and so that's the way I do it. And I want you to learn from things.
Our champion senior rabbit showman belongs to Luke Goodrich. He is receiving a trophy sponsored by Butler County 4-H. Our reserve champion senior rabbit showman is Cheyenne Bergman, and she is receiving a trophy sponsored by Butler County 4-H. Please give our champion and reserve champion senior showman a big round of applause. Now heading up to the table are those interested in entering our intermediate showmanship class. These are exhibitors who have completed grades 8, 7, and 9.
Okay, this one's a little easier. We have this. We have some that are taking and doing this. My reserve champion is going to be the young man in the middle. That he knows pretty much about his rabbits. He needs to know a little bit more information on that. The young lady up here is going to be our champion. She pretty well stands out among the whole group and knowing what's going on and that. I asked her a question that she knew the answer to, but I had to work it out of her to get the right answer from her. Yeah, but she has a rabbit. She doesn't have the easiest rabbit to take in showmanship. If I was going to do showmanship, the last kind of rabbit I would do is a hollow lot because they don't always want to cooperate and they make you look bad. But she's got this little thing trained pretty well that he takes and cooperates with her and does what he's supposed to and sets up and shows himself off. I used to give kids Himalayans, but Himalayans are big long rabbits that you just stretch them out and they lay there for about 3 or 4 hours and you can go back, leave them there and go back and they'll be sitting there just like that. I used to use them for showmanship. But this side was a nice showmanship. She's got a well-trained. She knows what she's doing. So give those kids a big hand. They did a good job.
The results of our intermediate showman class, receiving champion intermediate rabbit showman was Erica Brickman. She is receiving a trophy sponsored by Butler County 4-H. Our reserve champion intermediate rabbit showman is William Dykey. He is receiving a trophy sponsored by Kluter Auto Repair. Our next class up to the table is on junior showmanship. These are for our exhibitors who have completed 6th grade, 5th grade, and 4th grade. If you would like to enter, you may start approaching the judges table.
Got that? That's how you turn your rabbit. Do it that way. And your rabbit, most of the time, look at how nice your rabbits are sitting there and not fighting you. Okay, you can turn it back over. So. You got all that.
Yeah, so that's fall. You know, that pack that I got today. I know Iowa, there's, I might remember that Iowa plugin today. Great to see the free rate today. Do they want us to offer them one? I don't work really trying to pressure on it should be like, I don't know, it'd be a lot of work, but you don't have to use it. Basically, it's a two, coach.
Okay, let's give these kids a big hand coming out here today. You all did a good job. There's some of you we need to work on some things and doing some things like that. When I asked you to turn the rabbits, a couple of you did a little better job and did some things like that. I have a reserve. My reserve champion today is going to be the young lady, the little blonde young lady right here in the middle of on this table here.
Is Lily Wedeke. She is receiving a trophy sponsored by Butler County 4-H. Our reserve champion junior showman is Lily Sterling. She is receiving a trophy sponsored by Butler County 4-H. Our next class and final class of the day is our costume. We have one entry, and it is Mr. Josh Brinkman. And Josh is from the Green Gold Eagle Clover Kids.
I'm going to tell you, I absolutely hate the Cowboys. You can have one about any other kind of uniform you could have thought other than the Cowboys, and I'd have given you a purple. How low do we go here on this? You have Cowboy stuff on. Pink? I'm just giving you crap. Good job. You're the only one on here. All these girls did it. You would think that the girls would do a costume contest, and you're the only one that has enough guts to do it, huh? Give the guy a ribbon here. It's the Cowboys.
Please give a big round of applause to Joshua Brinkman from the Green Golden Eagles Cobra Kids. He is our trophy winner of the Achievement Costume Rabbit, and he is receiving a trophy sponsored by Butler County 4-H. Please give one more hand for our judge today, Mr. Steve Saruba. And that concludes our rabbit show.